Okay, everyone, welcome to yet another BR YouTube video. Today, we're going to take a look on the top 8 tips on how to grow fast in Warpath. So, the first tip is the daily missions, which I'm going to take a look at right here. They're on um, the main screen right here, and then you go on this little task list and then daily missions right here. The daily missions are super powerful to grow really fast. They're very essential for any player in Warpath to keep on doing. Got to be doing them every single day. So basically, it's this little task list here that you've got that you gotta do. Um, and then for each task that you do, you get a little bit of resources, and then you get these energy or activity points, which are going to go into this main header of activities, and you basically max it out when you get 100 activity each single day. So first of all, the tasks. The tasks are, use officer XP, uh, do a campaign mission. If you've already maxed the campaign, you get it for free every single day. Collect different kinds of resources, use a rush, kill 5 ravens a day. You don't even need to collect their stuff, you just need to kill them. So very easy things to do that you just gotta do, basically just passively being active, playing Warpath in your farming downtime, and even it's pretty easy to do even in like an active uptime, Warzone, Moscow kind of situation. Um, but then basically, what do you get out of this? Well, you get on the first level here, you get some components, you get some resources. On a second level here, you get some rushes, you get some resources, some Air Force components, and you get basic energy. This is incredibly essential to any Warpath player here. Basically, energy goes into repute by killing bunkers in Moscow or in San Francisco, whatever level 4 you're in, and this gives your alliance repute so that it can win on the repute race, and therefore it's pretty essential that you get a lot of energy. You actually get 2 vials. You get one up here as well. We're gonna get into that. So on the third level, you get 200 gold. You get a coupon, and you get some more components and some more rushes. So you get a coupon every single day. That's pretty good, right? Again, 2 actual basic energy, 2 times 50. So 100 basic energy or 100 energy every single day. As it accumulates over time, you're gonna get a lot of energy. Get some rushes, you get some more resources, and you get some more Air Force components. And then on the last level, you get some more gold, actual 600 gold. Totally, you get 2 tickets every single day out of doing this, and you get the 2 times 50 energy. Get some more components, and you get the challenge coupons, which are gonna go into ranking higher in the arena, which is going to be one of the last tips that I'm going to be giving on this list. So let's get into number 2. So number 2 is the campaign store. Essentially, I want to give it a little bit of a guide on what to buy from here, and how to kind of think about what you're buying here. And before we go into it, I just want to say, down in the description, there will be a link on a campaign how-to. It's not going to be incredibly in-depth on how to counter every single level of the campaigns, but it's going to be kind of the mindset that you want to use if you want to max out the campaign. It's going to be, or in this instance, I got to use one of my friend's accounts, and I basically just went through one of the levels that he had a lot of hard time getting through. And I went through it, and I basically just looked at the counters, and I countered the enemy setup, the enemy ravens. I thought a little bit about how to use my skills properly, how to set up my units properly, and I went through it pretty easily. So this shows you it's pretty fast to max out the campaign. Anyways, so in my situation, which isn't, it isn't every player in Warpath, but I've got all of my units at level 200, um, which means my what I buy in the campaign is a little bit different, but still I'll show you. So here's the ground force campaign. Um, Essentially, when you're going into what you're buying, you want to go into buying, what's cheap, and you want to buy what you need. So in my case, I'm not going to need bullets anymore. I only just maxed it yesterday, so I've still bought my bullets. But next time I'm going through this, I wouldn't have bought any of these bullets. I wouldn't buy the XP. I've got plenty of XP, as you see, 253 million. Um, but yeah, so this just means for in my situation, I can free up whatever points I would have spent on bullets. I can use that now on resources, which is just gonna help me grow as a player, grow my base, grow my research, but it's not gonna halt me in my process at any point. But anyway, so the first slot here is always going to be a hot slot, which is always going to give you a really good deal. So I would always buy that one. If you're a player, you haven't maxed all of your units, you buy the XP, you buy the bullets. Um, I would say for anyone, always buy these different materials, the components here. They're cheap. You know, it pretty much costs you nothing. I always buy the tickets. You get 7 tickets in this one. In the other store, you get 3, so that's 10 total. That's really going to help you build up your units. Obviously, the ammo, which in my case, I'm not going to buy anymore. But again, if you still got to max out your units, buy that ammo right here. And in my case, whenever I had extra, I would spec into this ammo, and buy this one for 60 ammo for 225. But I'm not gonna do that anymore. I can buy resources. And I think I haven't done the math yet, but I'm pretty sure that it gives you about 50 million of each resources. So that's total 150 million resources every 3 days. But I'm not 100% sure. So don't take me on the math. But yeah, then again, is it clever to spend on these blueprints? If you need blueprints, if you need gold parts, I would say spec into it. It's, you know, you get free points, you get these pretty much for free, and you get the chance of rolling pluses or plus pluses, which are just super good. But the chance for me is so low, I feel, and I can get it from elsewhere, that I don't buy any of the blueprint packs in here. And then just a quick mention, as you level up your store, you're gonna get these gold officer statues here. Always buy these. And it's pretty much the same deal for the Air Force store. In my situation, I'm specking into components a lot. I'm not buying my Air Force ammo. I've got one maxed Air Force unit. My Air Force isn't that great, but I've got one that's up to level 200, and now I'm just working on specking all out and getting my last 5,000 components to max that one, and then I can get back on buying ammo for the rest of the Air Force, and slowly buying components for the rest of the Air Force as well. Um, so that's the campaign store. That's my how-to on what to buy in there. Next up is unit assembly. This is something that a lot of players kind of are scared about, I feel. I've actually heard people asking others if they can do it for them, and you know, it's totally fair. There's a lot of chance to fuck up here if you don't do it right, for sure. But it's actually pretty simple if you get down into it. Um, I, I guess it's better to do a complete guide, which I guess we will do at some point. But a quick guide, you know, what I aim for always making these. As you see here, I always store these. These are 5.1 stars. These units right here, these 5.1 stars, you're essentially you're gonna need 18 of these to build one 7 star, and then you're gonna need 3 7 stars to build one 7.1, and then you're gonna need 3 7.1s to build one 7.2. So it's a lot of math. It's a lot of you know, multiplying and going through all of that. But if you store 18 5.1s, and then every time you upgrade them, you just want to make sure you upgrade them in pairs. So if I was to upgrade this one, to make this one a 7 star, or to make this one a 6 star, I would upgrade the other plane over here as well, so that I could make it into a 6.1. Then these up here, these are the 6.1s. You can use 3 6.1s to make one 7 star. You basically get the 3 6.1s out of having 18 5.1s. So that's pretty much how it works. It's a lot of math. That's why I think people are kind of scared about it, you know, because you got to actually use your brain sometimes about it, which is completely fair. I don't like it either, but it's just something that you got to get done. Next up is upgrading your base. I'm at a pretty high level, I would say. I am, I've got my resources buildings. I haven't spec'd into them very much lately. I've been running very hard on maxing my last unit to level 200, so I haven't got much resources from my campaign, and everything else has gone into my research. So I've really gone all out on research because I have the three tech queues. But now that I do have a little bit of time, I will spec into it more. I will say your main goal of upgrading your base is always keeping it at a reasonable level, where all of your units, always have your barracks at the max. People will say spec into your hangars. I spec into one hangar to level 32 here, and then the other ones are literally trash. They're both level 25, yeah. Um, Same as, my on base resource gatherers. They are pretty much just super low level. Um, Once you spec into it, once you have your full base maxed, you get a special wall around your base, which you can also upgrade, so it's not completely done yet. I also have my air base to max into. But once you get that, you get a lot of base durability, and that's really good. But essentially, keep your base at a reasonably high level, and you also always want to make the transition between upgrading your base or upgrading your research. And well, if you look at my power stats here, you can see that my building power is 15.6 million and my tech power is 22.5 million. So I've gone and spec'd very hard into tech recently, um, and not that hard into building power. Um, but it doesn't matter that much at this point. I don't feel like the extra hangars would add any value anyways because my other planes are literally so low level, and the on base resources, they don't do that much anyways. So it hasn't been valuable for me to spend resources on it and spend materials on it, when I could be spending it on my research. So that's why I've done that. Um, if you're a lower player, always spec into your command center, spec into your wall, spec into your AA gun. Really get your research tree up fast and into a high level. Get your barracks into a high level fast. Um, you gotta think industry very quickly, very early on. The faster you get industry, the faster um you get your research and everything like that, the cheaper it becomes with rushes, and somehow the cheaper it becomes with resources as well. It kind of hangs together. But anyways, that's the upgrading your base part. The next part is kind of an extension to that, which is when is the best time to upgrade. And well, so Warpath is basically split up into 2 weeks. It's split up into a week that has arms race, as you see right here, arms race. This goes on for a whole week, and then you've got the next week, which is gonna be battle honors. Battle honors gives you gold officer statues for each level that you get. So that's where I would say always upgrade your base, always upgrade your research, always do your battle honors. My arms race, I do it if I have something I really want and I just, can't be bothered waiting. And then, the next part is always make sure that you've got your city honors research, because this one gives you literally double the rewards. So essentially, I believe you get six statues for every day that you're maxing your battle honors out. So you get six statues, which is just incredibly good. Over time, that's gonna just accumulate and get really high. You can always max out the Monday, which is research gathering. You can always max that one out. That's 5,000 gold and six statues. The second day you can always max out as well, which is building your base. You can always max that one out. That's another 5,000 gold. It's another six statues. You got Wednesdays, which are which are tech. So you can always max that one as well. That's pretty easy. That's another 5,000 gold. So now we're up on 15,000 gold and what is it? 6, 12, 18 statues on Thursdays, which is today, by the way. You get it's the coupon day. You can pretty easily max this one. I haven't done the math on how many coupons you need to roll to max it out, but I think it's 3 times 80 or 4 times 80, something in that range. Basically, just gotta max it 3 or 4 times. Your jurisdiction 3 or 4 times on this day, which is kind of special. All of the jurisdictions hang together. So if you want to max what you're getting out of this. Oh no, I got into it. Out of this talking. No, you basically, this day is isolated as a special day where it's all about military training. It's all about doing the coupons. So when you do 80 coupons, you max this one out, and then you do another 80 on the next jurisdiction, and then you do another 80 on the next jurisdiction. And this way, you're pretty much getting like, I don't know, 7,500 to 10,000 gold pretty much for free. That's how to max your tank building Thursdays. Um, Friday is also, I think, is base building and research, kind of a join together, which is also kind of easy to max out. And then you get Saturdays, which are using your rushes, which is also pretty easy, especially if you're going into level fours, you're going into Moscows, you're doing a lot of bunkers. You're gonna get a lot of building materials, and when you use these building materials, you're gonna you can pretty much for free, more or less, max out your Saturdays, which are for rushes, and then Sundays is all out, balls to the wall, anything goes. Which is also pretty easy to do. Okay, so next one is saving up for level 4 events. So this is pretty much just, like, what do you gotta do, and how would you think as a player on saving up for the level 4 events? There are kind of two ways of doing it. You can do it kind of my way, which is pretty much just keep on going, keep on always upgrading, at least do the minimal to max out your battle honors when it's battle honors week, and just keep on growing like that. Or if you want to kind of reach far out, you can just accumulate all of the things that you get in the off season from just playing passively, staying here, sending out trucks, doing small researches, and not doing a really low energy, really low maintenance. And then once you get into a level 4, you're gonna go balls to the wall in the battle honors events inside of the level 4s. Essentially, it's gonna give you so many opportunities for a lot of statues if you place high, that is. So you gotta place really high on the rankings in battle honors. I don't even know if it's it's not even comparable in arms race. It's also for daily arms race. I don't know why I can't see the weekly arms race. Maybe I'm just stupid. But anyways, in battle honors, if you get number 1 out of the whole week, if you place number 1, you get 100 statues or something like that. If you place number 2, you get like 80. If you place 3, you get 60. Anyways, if you place high, you get a lot of statues. And that's super good, and it's super valuable. But again, there's only 3 spots, so you gotta be placing really super high, which is also why you gotta take a lot of time in the off season to let all of the stuff accumulate and let all of the resources get in, so you can just go absolutely nuts on the battle honors week, place really high. It's a lot of people are going to be doing that, and I personally, I just don't think it's even like, it's not comparable. I don't want to be doing that. Even though if you do manage to place high, you get a lot of good stuff. But I still manage to place more or less like top 20 every time, which means I think I get about 20 statues from battle honors from placing top 20 every time, which to me it's fine. It's okay, and it makes me happy to be able to see my progression every single week, and every second week with battle honors. So that's what I do. Um, yes. Next up is where to spend gold, which I've kind of done a video on. But my biggest tip for this, for spending your gold, is absolutely getting VIP 14. It's just absolutely crazy. You get 3 statues. It accumulates over a month. You're getting 90 statues a month. Just absolutely crazy for officer maxing and letting stuff accumulate over time. You also do, you unlock the troop expansion for 40%. It's just really really crazy. You can get if you have everything maxed, you get 35 troops in your garrison. I have 34 in this one. One of them died, but still, you get 35 troops in your garrison, and that's just incredible value. And you see a lot of these overpowered troops on the field, which are like 1.2 billion. That just absolutely demolish everything. That's super 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 good. And you get really good fighters as well. They obviously also target the Air Force stuff, which means get really overpowered fighters, which can just kill the bombers a lot quicker, make the Air Force a lot easier to handle. So that's where I would spend my gold, and that's the absolute goal that I would have if I was a player that didn't have VIP 14 yet. But obviously, if you do have VIP 14, what do you do then? Well, I will always spend all of my gold, most of my gold, on the roulette, the statue roulette that you get on the Battles Honors week. I'm pretty sure I've calculated it, and I get on average 75 statues to 100 statues on every roulette event. That's from rolling like 80,000 gold into it. It's not that much, and it accumulates pretty quickly over time from battle honors and jurisdictions and iron steals and power play and everything. So it's really quite good to give you a lot of value in your base. Now, the last one is the one I was talking about earlier is Arena. Arena is, well, this is kind of relatively new. Added into Warpath, it's this thing over here. You don't need to do that very much to place kind of high in Arena. You get for free, is it six challenges a day, 7 challenges a day, and you get the challenge ticket from doing your daily missions, and then suddenly you have 8 challenges a day. And essentially, what you do, you go in and then you look at any enemy, you try to counter them with your setup. You can do different setups. This setup is requires me to have, because he has a lot of heavies, super heavies, so it requires me to have a lot of tank hunters for damage penetration. And he has tank hunters, so I'm gonna run a medium as well on this setup to counter those tank hunters as well. So let's see, maybe it's also about officers. This one, always put the highest level officer in the first slot, no matter what. Even if it's not like, so this one this week is no howitzers, no anti-tank guns, and no rockets. Oh, and no infantry, right? Yes. So that basically just means your officer or your RD officers are going to be pretty much useless. But you can use them if they're high level as main officers to just gather that 30% firepower and 30% durability buffs when the leader is deployed. Which is pretty good. So let's just try and do a battle. I mean, I'm not sure what will happen here. Um, but yeah, this is just basically this is really good. The higher you place on the rankings, the more points you're gonna get, and the more points you get, the more you have to spend in the arena store, which is just absolutely incredible. The arena store, it's so super good. It really adds a lot of value to the game. You can buy 5 blueprints a week. You can buy components. You can buy energy. You can buy so many things. But we're gonna get into that in a second. As you see on this setup, what I try to do when I'm trying to set up my units, I'm thinking about damage. I'm thinking about damage resist. I'm thinking about where to place my. I have obviously maxed tip of the spear, and I have maxed Percy. I'm trying to think about longevity of placing them, so placing them in the back and letting them get close to my other units so that they can bunch up, and they can give the buffs to the other units so they can do the maximum amount of damage. Um, you see, we win. If we just look at the battle stats, they're doing so much damage right over here, right? So as you see, these two tank hunters compared to each other, they both died. But he's actually got a lot more kills with a lot more officer damage. That's because of the officer setup, but this one did a lot more actual unit damage. And that's pretty much just from the officers being set up. The other tank hunter, 12 million unit damage and 13 million officer damage. It's set up purely to be in the perfect position. I can show you it on my setup. It's this one over here with War Machine and Guardian of Truth. It's set up to do the most amount of damage as possible. As you see, it's packed tight with a Percy close behind, so the Percy can always. How much does she even give? She gives 8% firepower, and then you also have Tip of the Spear pretty close as well. If things go good, and they're following each other, it's 7% firepower on top of the 8 from before from Percy. So suddenly you get a lot of damage um into one unit, and it'll just take out whatever super heavies, whatever is in its way. So that's how I kind of think about setting up my arena. And then for the arena store, every single week I always get the first five, the cheapest five gold blueprints. Super good. You can roll them through, and you get a chance to get some pluses or plus pluses, which are just so valuable now. Um, and you get, for me, in my case, I'm kind of trying to spec into, as you see, Air Force components. I've done a little bit of XP, a few VIP points. Up until events, I will also try to buy the energy drinks so I can get the max amount of energy from my events and the max amount of repute, which is super good. And you can buy the drink tokens for really cheap, buy a few materials for really cheap. I wouldn't personally do that, but yeah, you can. And that's what it does. It allows you to have these different things you can buy pretty much for free because you're not doing anything. You're just kind of rolling some random battles um with against some people. And sometimes these battles are just so super random. One tank will just go on the other side of the map and just sit still for some reason. You can't predict it. So like my advice is, just do it. Don't think too much about it and get it done. And however you place, it's going to be some free points that you can use to max out a few things. And don't be too mad about it. If you don't, it's just a free opportunity to get a few things. So but yeah, that's pretty much my guide for how I keep growing. Um Obviously, also try and always make sure you get a lot of rushes and you have a lot of resources so you can keep on maxing out your base. I'm gonna do in not so long a video, pretty much just going through my whole idea and philosophy about upgrading my own base. What do I do? What's my thinking behind everything? And as we see helicopters coming out in the next update to the game, I'm also going to go through what my approach to that is going to be. Obviously, we saw last time around with Air Force, it took quite a while for the meta to be found with Air Force and bombers, and also fighters for that matter to counter the bombers even. Um, and this time around, I think that meta is going to be found a lot quicker. It's going to be a lot more potent, a lot faster because there's going to be a lot more people that are, maxed out in their base and they have everything they need, and they're just pushing research pretty much, so they can very quickly add some whatever helicopter hangar or whatever, and build a new 7.2 helicopter and just absolutely max out on that. So gonna be a few different approaches to it, and especially for a growing player, how are you gonna put in those helicopters into your development plan to keep on growing and to keep on pushing both your research and your helicopters and your planes and your ground units also as a new player. So I'm absolutely going to go into that, and we're absolutely going to make videos on that. and we're gonna have more videos coming probably in this week or the next week. So yeah, we're just really grateful for you guys wanting to watch, and I'm kind of sorry this one is so long. Been 30 minutes now, so we gotta wrap it up. We gotta get done with it, so you guys don't stop watching it. Thank you so much for watching. Please leave a like. Please leave a comment if you think we should do something better. If you think we should make a video on something specific, um, and we'll have a look and we'll think about it. So yeah, just thank you very much, and see you next time.